And that, boys and girls, is called randomness.
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much so.
So to say that we were having technical difficulties would be like saying that I don't know that Brussels sprouts are kind of yucky.
This is true.
They're horrible, they're terrible, and I hate them, and I would never call them a little bit yucky. So there you go. Can I just tell you that we finally got it all situated? And that we now have who y'all have been waiting for.
Everything's a go.
DJ Mathematics, you can hear us now, right?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. I can hear y'all good. What's good? What's up?
Man, what's poppin', man?
You are on the line. That's what's good with us.
Yeah,
Thank
real.
you. Jesus, have mercy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now finally, let's pretend like the rest of this last hour didn't happen.
Okay, so we're starting from square one.
And we'll just pretend like we're just leaving off with cream.
True.
All right.
Which is where we had intended it to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just from the jump, how did you get involved in DJing and music, period? And then how did you hook up with what would become Wu-Tang Clan?
Wow. Well, I started off trying to be an MC. You know, I wanted to be an MC. It's like, you know, I tried to. Well, I ain't gonna say I tried because I was kind of good at it actually. I like rhymes and all that, and you know, battle. You know, I was all into that right there. I did every aspect of hip hop. I used to do graffiti, all that, you know, on the walls, and you know, as far as DJing, you know, I'm from Southside Queens, and I went to a park jam one day, and you know, it's a legendary DJ from out there called Grandmaster Vic.
Yep.
He was DJing the park jam, so it's like, you know, I got a chance to see him up close and personal, and it just looked so incredible. I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. So I ended up, you know, trying to scrape up a few dollars. I bought a little Gemini turntable. You know, one of my older brothers came home, seen it, laughed at it. I was like, yo, this what you want to do? He's like, that ain't no turntable. He broke out. He came back with his crew, you know, because, like, you know, he was into other worlds. So it's like he kept me out of those worlds. What he did, you know, he came back to the lab that same night and brought me a coffin with two Technique turns. They was B1s. It wasn't 1200s, but, you know, they was B1s and a Gemini mixer. The mixer was banging. I seen a mixer on Jamaica Avenue for like $300. And, you know, at that time, it's like $300 is like a lot of money for a mixer. So it was like, oh, damn, you know. But yeah, after that, I just started DJing, and I was on it like every day. And then, you know, following summer, I started throwing park jams and, you know, doing the center and things like that. And then I hooked up with this dude named Victor C. He was actually like my first MC that had a deal, because he had a deal. You know, he made a parody of Eric B. and Rakim, I Know You Got Soul. He had a joint called We Drank Old Gold. You know, so yeah, so that, you know, I got my first experience of DJing as far as, like, you know, shows and clubs like that through that individual. And then later I will hook up with the Jizza, known as the Genius at that time, and it's like, you know, like, he lived in every borough of New York, so it's like he had family in Southside Queens, you know, the God Life and Shakim, and actually, like, Shakim was down with Cypher Sounds. That they was like, you know, Cypher Sounds was like a big thing out in Queens back in the day as far as, like, you know, music go.
Right.
And yeah, so I hooked up with Jizza through my brother Infinite. He knew him and introduced me to him, and then I just started DJing for Jizza. And then I was with Jizza, you know, when he was with Cold Chillin'. And yeah, and then after that, when the Wu-Tang thing came together and formed, you know, like, you know, for my graffiti skills, you know, I did the W. You know, I invented the Wu-Tang logo right there. So I was there since day one, and then I was just DJing, and then I seen RZA create Ice Cream one night.
Wow.
like I seen where it started from and how it ended. I was like, wow, now that's what I want to do. I want to produce. So I just started asking, like, yo, what's this? What's that? So he started telling me, you know, like, this the ASR 10. That's what he used at that time. He was like, this, you know, I went and got one, you know, and I just started working from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay. And then when was it that you started doing things that they said, Okay, when did you get this good, and when do I get to jump on this?
All right. Well, but the one thing I never forget, I remember the first time I made my first beat that I thought was rocking, and we was going to do a show. I think it was actually Lollapalooza, and it was with Metallica. And I remember I let Master Killer hear the beat.
Whoa.
So Killer was like, he just gave me one of them looks and nodded his head. And he was like, you know what, you need to test that. So he was like, you got a bus ride, throw it on the bus ride, see what brothers think about it.
Okay.
So I was like, all right. So when we get on the bus ride, Meth had a tape. It was a RZA beat tape. He had that rocking. And, everybody's rocking, whatever, vibing to that joint. So it's like, after hearing it for a while, I guess I built up my little heart like, yo, I got something. Brothers want to hear this. So I threw my joint in. So, the bus got real quiet. Everybody listened. So as soon as the beat was over, it's like Meth was like, all right, throw that RZA track back on.
Oh,
so it's like,
no.
What?
No.
Word. So after that, I was like, you know what? I just took it like, you know what? I just gotta work harder because I know next time I throw a beat on, brothers is gonna be like, yo, let's hit it. Yo, I want to rock to that. So, that just made me work hard. But that's how my brothers were. They was like that with each other. Like in the studio, if somebody went in a booth and didn't spit that ill lyric, it's like, they wasn't making that track. It's like they was going to feel it, too. It's like, it's like, nah, you got to get out the booth. Like, nah, that ain't it. So that's how it was, in the beginning. You know what I mean? But that's what made brothers, how, you had to sharpen your sword. So it's like, I had to just keep coming and coming back,
That's a lot of people to have to impress.
Yeah, for real.
Time. That's not like a regular group that's got like 3 dudes arguing in the background. And I know because I've been around it. I've seen it. That's a whole lot of guys.
Yeah,
right
for real.
And you gotta remember, it's not just. It wasn't just the non-members at the time, because you also had like other brothers that'll be up in there, like Sons of Man and other brothers waiting their
Killer
turn
Army
too.
And all them too.
Right.
Yeah. They want to swing their swords too. So it's like everybody was always trying. So it's like you had feedback from everybody. It's like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Street Life up in there, and Carlton Fisk, and a whole bunch of MCs.
So you finally were like, all right, I'm gonna do this again, and when I come back this time,
we're gonna come back hard.
I came back with a vengeance. It's
I
like
bet.
When I came back with beats like, Old Donna, Mighty Healthy, Cobra Clutch, Publicity, and all that.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Yeah, brothers just eating it up. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So you knew once everybody started bobbing their head and the song was over and they didn't ask for anybody, put nobody else's track back on, you were doing good things.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the more of that is like, just go out there and grind until you get it. Don't stop at nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Take that criticism because you need it. Because if you don't get it, and that's on both parts. Because some people don't like to give it. Because some people are scared to hurt other people's feelings. But if a person don't get it, they'll never know.
And then they get up on that whack stuff, and then somebody they gonna end up starting to cry and all that stuff. I'm like, come on, man.
It seems to me that, today a lot of people, they don't care about the artistry, and no one's going to tell them no, because they all think everything they do is hot. So, that's hot. There's a whole lot of yes men in the game now that weren't there before. That used to be, that's insane. You think about the songs that you've heard from the Wu, and to think that there were people like, yeah, man, that ain't good. Get out.
Yeah.
We're going to need you to back away from the microphone. You didn't make it this time, homie. Hope. Good luck next time.
Come on.
But that doesn't... Let me put it like this. If that does happen now, what is it that we're not hearing? If there are people who actually do that now, what was the part you threw away? What did you cut?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not so good. So, okay. So then, all right, you do the beats and they are loving them. And then what's the first one that jumps off that everybody's like, that's one, I got to be a part of that, or I want to get on that?
Well, it seemed like after I came with the like them early joints, like the Old Donnas and all that.